All right, hello. This is going to be a video on how to use the IES Denham staffing time clock system. So if you get this email, it's going to come from IES or from someone from IES. Mine happened to come from Carolyn Morales. Yours may come from another person in HR, but it's going to be titled Innovative Time Manual and Login Instructions. The email will give you a link that is a direct link to where you need to go to use the time clock. The link that's built into the employee portal that you guys have been working off of to create your accounts and stuff like that, to set up your onboarding. There's the WebTS system. That is not the time clock system we're going to be using. For whatever reason, the two systems do not talk to each other. The one that you're going to be using is going to be the Denham resources one that is going to be in the email that is sent to you. So make sure once you get that email, you need to make sure that you bookmark it so that way you're using the right website to log in your hours. The website from the portal, the website from the online portal from where you made your account will not allow you to clock in using the username and password that you've created, or the username and password that they give you in the instructions in the email. So make sure you're not using this website to clock in and out. Use this website to clock in and out. Follow the instructions that's provided in the email on how to log in. Once you've logged in using the generic password that they've given you, that's when you will be able to reset it to your own password. In the email, they're also going to attach you some instructions. There's going to be the manual with screenshots of step-by-step how to log your hours. Pay close attention to page 2 of that manual because though some of you may be working out of California, we will still be following California labor laws, and it talks about your meal break policy that's here regards to the taking your lunch break no later than the 5th hour of work. So make sure you read that portion and understand it. If you have questions about that, reach out to any of the HR representatives, or you can also reach out to your coordinators or administrators. There's an option for you to do everything also through your phone to clock in and out. So there's instructions for that and how to troubleshoot the system if it's not working for you. So pay attention to your emails, look for it. It will come, it'll be titled Innovative Time Manual and Login Instructions. Like I said, once you get it, you're going to log in using your unique username and password. I'm going to stop the video real quick so that way I can get logged in because the username is case sensitive to the user because it includes numbers from your social security number. So I'm going to pause it so that way I'm not disclosing that information. Okay, now that you're logged in, you're going to get to a screen that looks like so. This is where you're going to be going in to record your hours. So right here is kind of one of the spots where you guys will probably use most often, at least to get caught up, because some of you have been backdating your hours and manually logging it on a separate sheet on whatever source you use to log your hours. You're going to have to go back up to Friday the 17th and go and input your hours from those days that you worked. I'm going to show you an example of how to input your hours from starting as of today, and then how to kind of navigate the system a little bit. So you'll see that I made sure the date was for today. Your from time and your to time are your clock in, clock out. Just remember from is in, to is out. So I started, let's just say I started at 9 o'clock. Okay, so you can type in 9. The system will sometimes recognize it as 9 a.m. Sometimes in the afternoon, if you're entering it in the afternoon or late evening, I should say, it may recognize it as a PM. So just kind of differentiate it when you do it. A for AM, P for PM. Or you can also do military time. So if you know military time, you can also do that as well. So you can do 7 p.m., 3 p.m., whatever time in military time, it'll recognize it in the afternoon. Okay, so I'm going to say I clocked in at 0900, and then I worked, and then before my 5th hour, I'm clocking out to go take my lunch break. So I'm going to put in 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, let's just say 1:30, so 13:30. to take my lunch. So that's 4.5 hours. And then I get back from lunch and I'm like, wait, there's no line for me to clock in. This is where you're going to go hit add rows, make sure the date's still correct, and then you're going to put in when you came back from lunch. And I came back at 2 p.m. or 1400. Okay. And then I'm working, and then you know what? I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna probably leave a little bit early. I'm gonna leave at 4 today. Okay. So I'm gonna clock out at 4 p.m. or in this case 1600. And so what it did was it calculated my hours for me. So 6.5 hours worked today for this timesheet so far for this pay period. The timesheet total is your pay period total. I've worked this many hours, including what I've entered in for today. And then once I finish entering all that information in, I hit save. Okay. It'll also tell you right here, this is your current timesheet. It needs saving. So make sure you hit save. I'm not going to do that because I'm not actually clocking in for this time. I'm going to delete those. So you see how I'm hitting the X to delete the entire row. You can also do undo. It'll undo any edits that you made from the last time you saved it. I also see that there's a submit for approval button. The submit for approval button is if you hover over it, it says submit timesheet for approval. This is when you are done with the pay period. Okay, so when the pay period's over, you'll hit submit for approval. Don't do this until you get a notification from your coordinators to submit your timesheets. Okay, so for now, only enter your time and hit save each time. What I recommend doing is in your you'll see an option for notes when you're going into put in your time, so you can hit notes down below here on the very bottom. Okay, if you hit notes, you can type in I worked from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. took my lunch at 1:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. I entered in 35 resources for Kane County during my shift. Okay, whatever reporting system you want, you can put notes. It's optional, but it could also help you your coordinators when they go back and verify your hours. I know some of you guys are sending in your shift summaries or kind of a screenshot or whatever to your supervisors or your coordinators at the end of your shift to let them know what you've worked on. But you can also drop notes in here for that specific day, letting them know what you did for that time. And then it automatically saves. You can't go back and delete the note. Okay, there's no way for you to go back and delete it. As you can see, I was messing around to do another tutorial for someone else earlier. And I just wrote whatever and I hit save and it's stuck in there. So there's no way for you to delete it. Okay. All the notes that you enter in, you can hit notes up in the upper right corner. And it'll show any notes that you've saved. You can also download the notes and export it. You can also have it sorted. So if you need it sorted by date, by time, when it was created, whatever, you can put that in there. You can sort it. And then you'll see here, that's your timesheet. And then if you click on calculation detail, you can see the breakdown for me. And as you go through your pay period, it'll tell you each day. And then the next tab, so if you go back to the top, you can do summary by day, and it'll break down how many hours you work per day for that. So, but just the gist of it is making sure that you make sure you're on the right date. You put in the time you clock in, the time you clock out. It'll automatically calculate your raw total. If you need additional rows, you'll put in additional rows. If you work, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and then you come back at 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. and then you come back again at 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. You can put in as many rows as you need to, okay? And so you can keep adding rows as you need to. I would recommend when you do something like this, when you're doing a lot of splits, put notes in there for your coordinators when they're going back to verify your hours, so that it makes it easier for them to see what you were doing. So if you have any questions, as always, reach out to your coordinators and your administrators and see if they are able to support you. refer back to the resources that are in the email that was provided to you by Denham to help you troubleshoot if you need it. I hope this helps you kind of get an idea as far as how to manually log in your times.